watching.
That's because you were exhausted.
I get to sit down.
When you look in the mirror, you see this rough and tumble, old school cowboy. Doesn't take orders, goes his own way, huh? A lone wolf.
You said that you wanted to make the most authentic racing movie ever made with F1. What has that entailed for the both of you?
Well, it starts with Lewis Hamilton being our producing partner on the film, so having the 7-time world champion advising us every step along the way. That's where it starts. Then, you know, we worked with F1 directly to be able to shoot at the real races, to be able to shoot on the real tracks. That's the second part. Then we worked with Mercedes F1 team to build a custom race car for this film that carries all of our specialized camera equipment. And then you put Brad Pitt and Damson Idris in the car for real. They learn how to drive it, and that's how it starts. But the most important thing is you got to tell a great story. And that was always our number one priority, was make sure story comes first, action, you know, comes after that.
I couldn't imagine making this movie any other way, but I think we're all really blessed to have Mr. Kosinski at the helm of it, because his passion and his determination to pull off what you just said, I think he did.
The sound is also correct, right? So like the different gears at different turns, you're hearing the car in whatever gear the car is in. Lewis helped with that. So if you're a very smart sound person, I guess, or you know the sound of the gears, they're going to be correct. Mm-hmm. So the attention to detail is like, there's so much attention to detail.
It felt really real. I felt, I think Joe's really smart in how he wants to create a movie, how he wants it to look. He's very particular about certain shots and scenes that I was lucky enough to watch, like behind the camera. I watched some of the scenes that I wasn't in. I was like, this, yeah, he's very, very special. It's like all the elements in play. It's like jazz. He has all the elements in play for the film.
You're making a mistake, thinking that I'm just going to be some grateful kid who'll bend the knee to an old-timer.
I never should have pulled you into this.
As you said, both Brad Pitt and Damson Idris, they became real race car drivers in preparations for this film. What is the most impressive or wild moment you've seen from them doing this whole process?
I think just hitting some of those corners at 180 miles an hour, especially at Eau Rouge, that there's one turn that is just so scary. And Brad did it with a smile on his face when he wasn't supposed to be smiling. It was so much fun for him to do it. I think they took to this movie and they took to the driving. I don't think they'll ever want to stop. I think Brad, his saddest day was when he had to climb out of the car in Abu Dhabi when we finished, and that was my happiest day because everybody was safe. So that was great.
Yeah, how does the insurance look like on a film like this?
We had a lot of meetings, a lot of phone calls with the insurance company, but once they understood that these cars perform best when they're driven fast and hard, you know, you need hot tires, hot brakes, a lot of downforce. When they realized that speed is actually safe in these cars, then they let us do what we needed to do.
Damson, you play this young racing prodigy in the film opposite Brad Pitt as this experienced driver, which kind of mirrors where you are as actors right now. So what was the biggest lesson you learned from playing opposite Brad?
Whew, biggest lesson, don't crash, as he says it. Yeah, just to chase really good stories that you're passionate about. Work with directors that you admire. He really just gave me a lot of artistic advice. But also just as a person too, humility is something he didn't have to say, is something I just noticed about his character. You know, he's so humble, so giving, such an amazing collaborator. So just all of that stuff is what I'm stealing from him. Yeah.
Just gotta hope for some lucky breaks.
Hope it's not a strategy.
Anything else, Professor?
Try fast.
There's a Danish actor in this film,
Kim.
Bodnia.
Kim Bodnia.
How was your experience working with Kim?
I like Kim. Like, he's funny, man. He's full of so much energy, you know. And was always making me laugh, always being so sweet to me as well. Like, always giving me a big hug, and I was a fan of him before this anyway. Do you know what I mean? So it was really great working with him. Yeah.
Yeah, and his part is great too. He sort of like loses the head a lot at Brad's character or whatever. So it was like a comical element to it that was quite fun.
So funny. And I remember the first table read, every line he was saying was just like, everyone was bursting out laughing. Yeah.
Well, Jerry recommended him, so
Yeah, I
Jerry
used him in A Young Woman in the Sea, which I made with Daisy Ridley, and he was such a, on-screen he's brilliant, and off-screen he's such a fun actor to be around. He's got a great personality, great energy, and there's a sense of humor about him that he just exudes fun, and he's the kind of character you want on screen.
Kim. I'm such a big fan of Kim. So when I was like, there was one point where we were all in one scene together, and I was like, I am so lucky. I'm here with Brad, Javier, and Kim. I'm so lucky.
Have you seen him in anything before that?
Yes, I have. Yeah. I've seen him in many series, and I also saw him in Killing Eve, which is quite popular, you know. So he was brilliant in that. Once you've got really good actors, you're just flying. Basically, you just know it's all taken. Most of it is taken care of. Yeah.
Formula One is a team sport. It always was.
I got goosebumps from several of the racing scenes
Great.
in this film. I was wondering, in your eyes, what is the key to goosebump-inducing cinema?
Driving the cars for real at 180 miles per hour.
I think music really helps. And I think like having the team in this particular movie, like every individual team member has their own little journey or little wins. So when the team collectively, something happens to them, you kind of feel it as a whole. I felt that certainly in moments, in the wins.
I think also the characters, I think creating relatable characters. As a viewer, when I watch someone on the screen that I could relate to, when things are happening to them, I feel like, man, that could be happening to me, and then boom, goosebumps. You know, so yeah, but I teared up like so many times in the premiere that we just did in New York.
That's because you were exhausted.
I get to sit down.
Exactly.
Popcorn.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I watched the first like 5 to 10 minutes of this movie. I was just like, because you have all the elements at play. You have the cinematography, you have the music, the editing. Editing is very important. So there's like moments of that. I'm just like, wow, they've got it. Because you have to. How are you going to convey a story? And it's a, over a length of time for this movie, and bring all those elements into play. Like you want the family, you want the love interest, you want these things into play, and you have to have the cuts and the edits. You have to convey so much in the unspoken and spoken.
It's an emotional connection. You have to be connected to the characters and connected to the story and really invested in it. And then if you can combine that with a sequence, it could be the action, it could be what you're seeing, could be what you're hearing, could be Hans Zimmer's score, which is phenomenal. When it all comes together and you get those goosebumps, that means the movie is working. And I think that's what really sets cinema apart, is it can create those moments when everything comes together.
Kerry, did you get to talk to any of the the real women working in motorsports as
Yes.
preparation. What did you take away from?
It was great. Everyone in F1 was so open-armed and nice to us, and very available. And my takeaway was that the ladies who had studied engineering in college, and in college engineering is mostly male. Male brains tend to be interested in engineering more than female. And so by the time they get to F1, they didn't feel like the only female. It just felt very similar to college. So there wasn't this sense of like being alone.
You both worked on the cinematic achievement that is Top Gun Maverick. I was wondering because I heard that you took some of the cameras from that and you made them smaller for this. Like, what experiences from Maverick did you take with you?
Well, I mean, I think Maverick proved that if you do go to the effort to shooting it all for real, the audience will feel that and enjoy that. So we took that camera system, and like you said, we shrunk it down, we miniaturized it, we made it lighter because it had to be for shooting racing. And then we pushed beyond and made them actually movable in this movie. So, you know, in Top Gun they were fixed looking back and looking forward, but we couldn't operate them. Now in this film we came up with an operable head so that we could control the camera movement while we were shooting. And that took a lot of research and development to be able to pull that off.
How do you think I'd feel if you die on the track?
3 laps! 3 laps is a lifetime!